Hey guys, welcome back, and we really have a heating up here. We're playing against Utulei again. This is going to be a home match for us. As you can see here, we have decided to take off some of the starters. It's because we're playing against Lionheart after this, and we want to make sure we have our best players out on the field for that one. So we're going to start NA up at front. We've got the guys like Danny in there. We're going to have Rock Calliope along with Stidolfo Collins. So where is he? Twala Lele is going to be on the bench. A couple of little changes like that so we can give a little bit of rest to guys who need it. One other big change I've made is Milani is going back to the advanced playmaker role and is playing in a support mentality, is because that's really what he wants to play as. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully that will prevent him from sort of like lumping the ball up forward and taking crazy shots from crazy angles. So let's see what happens. Go out there and impress me is what I say. And hopefully we'll be able to win. We should be able to win this match pretty much no matter what because of how poor Utulei are. They've been bad. They've been bad all 3 seasons, but they're looking really, really bad this season. So let's see what happens. I don't recognize any of these names. Maybe that Calliope, we may have had him for a short amount of time, or maybe I scouted him or something like that because I remember the picture. Anyway, they only have 4 points after 11 matches played. So, again, that gives you an idea of just how well they have fared here so far in this league. We have really come into our own as we've gotten used to playing with each other. And it's going to be Sasala here for them as they have the ball in the early going. And if they want to pass it around the back all day long, that is perfectly fine with me because we're going to get the ball off of them eventually and we'll be able to score hopefully pretty quickly and pretty easily. And there we go. We are able to get the ball off, but Milani not quite able to get to it in time. And so let's see what happens. Now, the fact that we have that shadow striker role taken off from Milani and he's on a support role instead means that we might not quite have enough players attacking. If all else fails, I might end up putting the Mazzala up into an attacking role. We'll see what happens here in the early going. If I'm one over to Collins. Collins back to Hingi Poli, who lumps this one forward for NA. And he goes to Collins back to Milani. Milani finds Famoana. Famoana kind of lumbers his way up and then passes it forward, finds Tyler Louis over to NA. That was blocked. How was that blocked? Man, that was a really, really good play there by the defensive player. I mean, NA was right in front of the goal, and that was the easiest goal he was ever going to score in his life, and it's somehow knocked away. Corner's knocked back for another corner, so NA is going to take this one again. About 12 minutes into this match. I tell you, yesterday's match, we were 12 minutes in, and it was already 1-1. And unfortunately, Uti, their goaltender, is just able to reach up and grab the ball over everybody's heads. And that's going to be the end of that one. And we can see a little replay of this here. Tyler Lee with a excellent play, and I just don't know how that defender got back to block NA's shot. I mean, that should have been a goal. That absolutely should have been a goal. And NA, because he missed a shot from point-blank range like that, now has a 6.3 rating. And this is one of the things that I was a little bit worried about. And I'm hoping that we don't have to put Maile in there for this one because I would really like to keep him rested up for the big match. But we'll see what happens. I mean, if we can't score at all, we'll have to do what we have to do. If I'm wanting now with the ball, brings it forward over to Danny. Danny's got it. He's going to look for, Fatonu has it on that side. Offa with it over to Danny again. Danny finds Milani, and Milani's going to take a shot. I thought he was on a support role. Well, whatever. That was a good shot to take, and he came very close to scoring that. Here's another corner. It's going to be Danny taking this. So both of the new Sela boys have been taking turns taking corners from either side, and that one ends up being headed away. And now we have to go play defense. And let's see if we can get onto this one. It's Ikuvalu who grabs this one out of the sky and passes it over to Palipua. Palipua takes it up right side, knocks it forward for NA, and NA misses the header again. He's had a lot of trouble with that. And, oh man, it's this guy Krishna again who always makes me worried. And thankfully for us, Fatoni was able to get onto that one before it goes out for a throw for them. And that is the end of that attacking attempt. And NA just having a poor match. There's no way around it. And Afa Famoana also having a poor match. We have to take these guys off. So I'm very, very frustrated with this overall. I mean, NA, I had a lot of hope for him, but it's just not going to be his day. Polypool will stay on. I don't care how tired he is. And Famoana, do we not have anybody who can play in this position? Let's see what we can do here. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put Atu on there for him and hope for the best. But, Afa Famoana has a lot of potential, I suppose, but he really, really needs to start playing better. I mean, we've given him so many chances, and Calliope, I suppose, if Maile is offside, I guess. Maybe he was offside by an inch. And so that's going to be the end of that. NA's, I think, 25 or 26 years old, and might not play very much for us anymore in the future. We'll see what happens. I think we do have a striker or two coming in. And fortunately for us, Hengi Poli is able to force them into a corner. And this is problematic. We may have to take Polipua off as well. And this is headed back, but not back far enough. And they have that attack again. And we're not able to even get the ball out of our own penalty box. Now it's passed backwards, and let's see if we can just take it off. I'm not sure what's going on, and that's going to be the end of that. I'm going to say I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we look like we have absolutely no energy anymore. Fatonu now takes it up right side. Fatonu over to Milani, and he's going to play with it, looking, but can't quite find Maile. Here's Danny with it now, and he's looking also for the cross, and he does find Maile, and that's knocked back for a corner. We're going to make a change. We're going to make a change and take Polipua off, and we'll put Tualalele on and see how he does. He did very, very well in the last match playing in the defensive midfielder role, in that Segundo Volante role, but we're going to have him play in the back here, and Maile's header ends up going off the post, but is knocked out for another corner. So that ends up working in our favor. Atu will take this corner, and he steps back and winds up and fires, finds Tualalele, who had a hat-trick in that last match, and unfortunately he's unable to really get his head onto that one. And, man, Maile really should have scored that. It's just a bad angle was all there was to it, but he won it, definitely. It is a goal kick for them. Now, we need a win here. If we end up with a draw, that's not going to help us very much. It doesn't knock us out of it. If we lose, that would be a bigger problem. If we wind up with a draw in this match, it doesn't necessarily knock us out, but it does make it so that our next match against Lionheart is not quite as critical as it otherwise would have been. And Ikuvalo was able to grab that ball before it goes in. And so, okay, let's see what we can do. We do have time. We have about 35 minutes left. Atu over to Tailaului. Tailaului over to Milani. Milani finds Maile. There you go. Maile takes it up and kind of takes a little nub of a shot that is deflected away and is out for another corner. So let's see what we can do here with these set pieces. It's Atu who steps back and is going to far post, and he finds Hengi Poli, who gets his first goal of the season. And it's 1-0 now for PanSa East FC. And the says at the bottom that the fans are going nuts. We don't quite have enough fans here to go that nuts, but that's a big goal for us, and that puts us ahead. And if we're going to be serious about potentially winning this league, we need more goals like that. So this is lump forward now for Danny. Danny is onside, I believe, over to Fatonu. Fatonu knocks this over for Collins, whose header just is not strong enough to get past the keeper. Fatonu now with a throw over to Danny. Danny back to Fatonu. Fatonu lumps this one forward looking for Tyler. They can't find him. It goes over to Atu. Atu lumps on over for Maile, whose shot is unfortunately stopped and held onto by their goalkeeper. And that was not a bad idea. That was not a bad idea at all, as Atu stands there and fires. And Maile, just a little bit of bad luck, but you can see that he's got that scorer's instinct. He knows that it's time to score, and he wants to get on that scoreboard as quickly as he can. Rock Kalliopa grabs that one over to Milani. Milani finds Maile. He's behind the defense. I think he's onside, and he misses the shot. How did he miss that shot? That's ridiculous. It's absolutely nuts. So he's onside here, and it's Milani who finds him, and it's just a perfect pass. And the keeper is out of position, and he just misses. How do you miss that? How do you miss it? It's the easiest shot in the world. I mean, ridiculous. Danny with it passes down to Fatonu. Fatonu, we've got 20 minutes left. We need to get more goals here, guys. Fatonu takes this up, passes over, looking for Nusili, who's fouled. No call. Collins knocks that over to Tailaului, and then is back to Atu. Atu with it. Knocks it over to Collins again. We've done a good job of holding on to possession. Over to Hengi, down to Danny. Over to Rock, back to Danny. Rock with it now. Rock over to Milani. Milani to Maile. Maile, I'm not sure what he's doing all the way out there, and that was almost a defensive mistake there by Utulei. They almost scored an old goal. So Uti knocks this forward straight over to our player. Rock goes forward, grabs this over to Maile, and that's another sitter that he misses. And that's like 4 of those he's missed so far today. So, yeah, not all that great. I mean, anybody who's watching this on television, I mean, there's no television here covering American Samoa matches, but you've got to be very, very frustrated. You're going to start throwing things here pretty soon because, I mean, come on. Atu here with the corner, knocks this one forward and finds Poli. And boy, that's a great save. That is a great save to prevent him from scoring his second goal here of the season. That was a great shot. That was a very, very good job by their keeper. And Maile's header, he has 3 guys around him, still wins the header, but can't quite get it goalwards. But I mean, look, he has so many players around him. This is pretty impressive. 1, 2, 3. Well, the third is kind of a little bit further away, but he's beating players who are taller than him. He's got such great heading ability. It's pretty impressive. He needs to continue to use it. Tyler Louis is like triple teamed. I'm not sure what that pass was supposed to be. Didn't quite work out all that well, but fortunately for us, Utulei don't look like they really know how to bring the ball forward. And Ikuvalu is able to grab onto that one safely. Now let's see if we can get a good attack. He throws over to Hangi Poli. Poli moves it forward over to Atu, over down to Collins, and over to Malani. Malani's got to Maile, up to Tyler Louis. Tyler Louis will just take it himself, might as well. Nobody's covering him. And he blasts one that's over everybody's head. So that doesn't quite work out as well as I thought it might. But we're doing okay. 1-0 with the lead, and hopefully we can hold on to this one. Slim margin of victory against the worst team in the country. If we do win this 1-0, and I just hope that we don't end up giving up a stupid and foolish equalizer, which we have been apt to do. Poli wins this over to Malani, back to Poli, over to Rock. Rock with it, knocks it forward from Maile, who's got the defense beaten again, and we've seen him score goals like that in the past, but I guess not today. It's a little bit too much blast on that, not enough control. And he might be a little bit upset with me, too, for not starting him from the very beginning. So maybe that's the reason why he's having a hard time. I don't know. And it's knocked forward again to Maile. And Collins had it and lost it. And this is a problem. It's going to be Krishna again, who's one-on-one. And he's called for offside. And that's a problematic call. He was not offside when that ball was passed. You'll notice that there's no replay at all. Now, all we have to do is hold on to this one and not worry about it too much. Poli stands there like he should, and he's going to wait. And, okay, now we're ready to start play again, I think. And this is lump forward looking for Rock, and Rock is unfortunately unable to grab on it. I think that's Rock over there trying to get it. It's lump forward, but to no avail. That is the end of the match. We had a 2.96 XG, 20 shots, 6 on target, 52% of the possession, so less of the possession than we were expecting. It was still a good match by us. I mean, the only problem is that we just didn't score enough goals, but that's fine. We win 1-0. That's what counts. I will talk with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big one. Bye-bye.